YouTube, welcome to my latest video. This is going to be a sales update for the month of November. It's a little bit late coming. It should have really been released at the start of December, but nevertheless here it is. So to begin with, this is a Babyliss Body Benefits Bath Spa. It's sold for £23.70 on an offer. It was £24.95 plus postage. This is where I started to realise that Q4 really had kicked in, because these sort of gifty items started to sell. So this is the first one. Next up we have a board game, again typical Q4 item, selling at a reasonably good price. This is a vintage 90s edition of Mousetrap, sold for £16.95 plus postage. I actually had about 5 or 6 of these, and I think I've sold most of them now. I had various ages, some of them much earlier versions with the fully white box, a few of these 90s versions, and I had a couple of 2000 Hasbro versions which don't sell so well, but more or less the same game, and it's just a case of making sure it's got all the parts. I usually find I've got to replace the elastic band for the springy bit on these, as these usually end up getting degraded as they're in storage, but apart from that, as long as they're complete, you can sell them. This one is a typical one of the type I've sold, with instructions 100% complete. Another Q4 item, this is a Domino Rally, again from this one a little bit earlier, from the 80s. I wasn't sure if it was 100% complete. Pretty sure it was, but of course there's a lot of dominoes in there, and so basically I just took a photo of all the different parts that are included and said you get what you see in the picture. So that sold at quite a strong price at £23.70 plus £6.99 postage. This was a nice item I bought from a £1 box at a car boot sale. This is a filter for a fridge, for a Samsung fridge. Quality filter, completely sealed, and I got £28.45 free postage on this one, so I was really quite pleased with that. This is something I wasn't sure whether I undersold this, because I listed this, there wasn't any completed, so I wasn't really sure what it was, but I listed it for £40, which I thought was quite high, but it sold very quickly, so I have a feeling that I could have got a little bit more for this, but nevertheless it's a nice item, and I got a good price for it, plus £6.99 postage, so I was happy with the sale, even though I think I probably could have got maybe another £10, maybe even a little bit more out of it. This one's a nice one. This is a vintage Super International Petite typewriter. I think I got this at auction. I got £28.45 plus £4.99 postage on it. It was nice because it was all boxed. This is something that I got from a big haul of clothing. I've still got some of it to list, but this is one of the items. This is a Dave and Johnny's size 9 one shoulder full length evening dress, and it sold for £29.95 with free postage. I was quite pleased with that. It was quite a nice pretty dress. It was actually brand new, and it had the tags on it, as you can see here. So yeah, not the usual thing I sell, but certainly was a good sale. I'm not sure if I'd like to sell this sort of stuff that often. I think there's a high risk of return on this sort of thing. The buyer actually asked me to dispatch this about 2 weeks after they purchased it, which I marked it as dispatched on eBay, so I didn't get a ding for not dispatching it quick enough. And then I waited for his email to say that you can now post it, which is fine. It all worked out well, and he received it. Hasn't been returned, so that's a good thing as well. So yeah, I was quite pleased. I've still got a couple more of these dresses to sell. I think I've got a green one that's on sale, and I've got another green one that I've still yet to list. This is a trunky suitcase. You've probably seen me sell these before when I do these videos. This is a standard blue one, nothing special, but it did have the lock. It was in good condition. £18 plus £6.99 postage. This is something I've had on sale for quite a long time. It's a very old vintage Stager battery operated clock from West Germany. It's 1970s, ideal for a retro kitchen. It took a while to sell because there was like a little cut out of the edge of it there, but you couldn't actually see it once it was hung. But I've had this on sale for over a year, but it did eventually sell for £11.95 plus postage. I did have it initially when I first listed it. I think I had it on for like £30, thinking that it's a nice retro item. West Germany had all the good things about it, but unfortunately didn't seem to sell. So reducing it eventually got that sold. This is an example that sometimes it's worth putting faulty items on eBay. This one had a few issues with it. You couldn't actually tune or play a CD on it. You couldn't tune the radio. It was stuck on whatever station it was stuck on, the frequency it was stuck on, and you couldn't play any CDs either because it used these same buttons. Cassettes played okay, so I still stuck it on there. £14.95 plus it was free postage. I think I did that just to make it keen to get rid of it. Didn't take too long to sell. I always make sure I put faulty at the start of the title, so it's obvious it was listed in the parts or not working category, and I declared all the different issues with it. So yeah, well worth trying to sell these things if you can, even though they're faulty, instead of throwing them away, because somebody might know how to fix it or might just want it as a cassette player. But yeah, the buyer seems happy with it, so that's good. This one is a Cambridge Audio A1 A-series integrated amplifier. This is a nice one. It was £59.95 plus £6.99 postage. I printed out a user manual for this, although I have had it on sale for quite a while. I think it was quite high priced really, but it did sell in the end, and I was pleased with that sale. These are always worth picking up. These are heated back and seat massagers, so you just put them on the top of your chair, and they usually have some sort of handheld remote that adjusts the heat and the massage features. And this sold for £27.95. It was actually brand new, this one, but I do sell them second hand as well, and they do sell quite well. This is a Buzz Lightyear Toy Story action figure. He had a blue utility anti-gravity belt. I had to do some research on eBay to see what actually he was. Unfortunately, he didn't have his clip-on wings, so I had to reduce the price a little bit accordingly. But I still got £24.95 plus the postage. He all worked. I think he took batteries, so he made like sound effects. But yeah, even though it was missing some stuff, it still got a good price. I think they go for a bit more if they're fully complete. It's just because it's got the blue anti-gravity belt, I think adds something to the price. This one is a Nintendo Wii. It was fully boxed. I actually bought this at a car boot sale. It didn't have the Mario Kart game in, and I don't think it had a wheel, but I had those anyway. So I actually paid up for this, really. I think it was about £20 I paid for it at the car boot sale. Basically just to get the Wii in the box, really, because I wanted to put it with a game and sell it as a whole lot, and I knew it would do well, and I got £69.95 plus £8 postage. So I did really well on that. I'll certainly do it again, although I wish it had come with the Mario Kart game with it when I bought it, because they do sell on their own, usually for about £20 with a wheel, so it could have been a better deal for me, but I was happy enough with it, and I managed to make a nice bundle there. Now this was a brilliant sale, and one of my best sales, probably in total individual item. This was a Sharp linear turntable. It plays both sides of the video. I actually did a video on this a few months back, prior to listing it. I had to buy a new belt for the turntable to get that to work. That was about £10, and I can't remember how much it cost me at auction, but I made a really good profit on that. I sold it for I think it actually sold on offer. I don't think I actually got the $3.99. I think I got about $3.50 for it, if I remember rightly. But the buyer was very happy with it. I've got good feedback from it. Yeah, it was really nice. Here you go. This is Kevin the Carrots before Audi got them in stock. This is a 2017 version, and I got £12.95 free postage. I've still got a few left that have not sold. It's mainly because Audi's get new ones in, so people don't generally get them. But I'm hoping I'll leave them on sale, and they'll sell throughout the year, hopefully. This was a nice item. I bought two of these at the car boot sale. Can't remember how much they were, but they were quite dirty and they were dumped in a box. The batteries probably completely dead. I had no way of charging them, so I had to sell them in the parts or not working category. Listed it as such, untested, and I still got £29.95 for this one, plus I got the same again, or roughly the same, for the other one. So I did really well off that deal as well. This is a pair of hockey skates, Powerline 600, UK size 3, so they're quite small ones, but they still sold for £19.95 plus postage. Would have got those at a car boot sale, I think. This is a nice typewriter. I did have this priced high originally. I think I came down to £79.95 to get it to shift. It was taking up a lot of space. It's an early 1900s typewriter. It's got glass sides. It actually went to Spain, I think. I got positive feedback, but the feedback said that it wasn't in as good condition as they thought it was. But all the photos are there. I took various photos of all the different parts of it, so I don't really know how they can say that it's not in the condition they thought, really. But they left positive feedback, and I got a good price for it. Very heavy to post though. and it went to GSP shipping, so they probably paid quite a bit to get it. And I've just noticed here I did actually put would benefit from a service stroke restoration, sold as needing some sort of restoration. So I think it was a bit unfair feedback, but because it was positive, it didn't really worry me. This is a WWE World Tag Team Champion toy belt. This is from Jakks Pacific. I think it's around the year 2000 this is from. And this sold for $19.95 with free postage. Nice sale. Would have got that from a car boot sale, I think. This is another Jakks Pacific item. These are worth looking out for, these little plug and play games. This one was a Pac-Man one from Namco. Got £19.95 plus $4.99 postage for it. They usually just take little batteries in the side, and what I do, I usually take a photo of the screens so they can see it working. As you can see here, it had a few games that were on it. I think there were 4 games on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. So yeah, nice sale there. Also, it's important if you do take photos like this showing the TV screen, it's important to put in your description somewhere, please note the TV is not included, or something along those lines. This was something I got at a jumble sale. This is a Walkman, a mini disc Walkman. I actually had 2 of these. This one was the cheaper version of the ones that one I had, but it did fully work. The other one didn't work, so I've had to sell that as parts are not working, and I don't think I've sold that yet. But this one fully worked, but the model number wasn't as great as the other one, so I only managed to get $24.95 plus the postage, but it was still a good sale. And there was a few little scuffs and stuff on it as well. But yeah, I was pleased with that sale. It would have been nice if it was worth a bit more. If the working one actually, if the other one I had did actually work, I think that would be worth near to the £100, because that specific model is worth a lot more. But because it doesn't read discs, I've had to reduce it quite a bit, and it still hasn't sold. So I'll probably be reducing that further. But it will sell in the end. This is a Thomas Nash triple XL long sleeve shirt. Again, came from a car boot sale of some shirts I bought, and I got £14.95 free postage. This is a Pacific 14-inch CRT TV with a VHS combi. Fully works. These are worth picking up if you see them at the right price, but bear in mind that the video player often can cause some problems, and they're actually quite difficult to get in there and clean because you've got the TV on the top. But I did actually clean this one quite thoroughly, and I got £89.95 plus $9.99 postage for it. This is something I picked up at the car boot sale. It's a 1970s slinky toy that goes down the stairs. It came in the box, which is the main thing that attracted me to it. I think I paid quite a few pounds for this, but I still made a healthy profit. I thought it would be worth more, to be honest with you, when I bought it, but it still sold for £14.95. These are worth picking up if you see them. I bought this one at an auction, part of a job lot. I got £15 for it, not the £18.95 shown there, plus postage. And people like these because they're much higher quality than modern ones. This is a vintage one. and yeah, it was really nice. I think it was basically brand new, but it's hard to tell, so I did sell it as used. These show that PS2 Guitar Heroes are still worth picking up. I actually got quite a few of these, and this is one I sold, but it was a red one. I think I got a couple of pounds extra. I put a couple of pounds extra on the price, just because it was red, and I got £19.95 plus £6.99 postage. So you've got to remember on these, unlike other Guitar Heroes like the ones on the Wii or PS3 or Xbox 360, the necks of the guitar don't actually come off, so you've got to ship it as it shows in that photo. So you've got to bear that in mind and factor that into your postage cost. This is something that's well worth thinking about when you buy old hi-fi units. Some of these cables can actually fetch a good price. I had a Sony system that I broke down into the individual parts, which I quite like to do. I find I make more money that way. It's easier to pack, and it spreads the risk across a few different items for any sort of return or damage in the post, that sort of thing. So when I do all that, I also sell these cables separately that link the different separates up. And I had 3 of these, and they've all sold for basically the same price. This one sold for £19.95, free postage, and it just went large letter. This is something I picked up at car boot, so I bought a big box of them. I think I've got 100 of them. And this is a waterproof mattress protector, sealed in the packet. So I got some photos sorted. As you can see there, I managed to find a picture of a glass spilling the water on it as well, and also some stock photos for them there. And I've been selling these for £4.95 free postage. They go large letter for, I think it's 83p, and as I think the box didn't cost me much at all, and I'm getting basically £5 each for them, so good profit there. And their sales tick along. I sell like 2 a month or something. This is an item that's no doubt would have been used at Christmas Day. This is a brand new heat tray food warmer from Philips, a vintage one. I took an offer on this, £20 plus £6.99 postage, but I was pleased to see it goes. They are quite big and they take up a lot of space. I've actually since had another one that I've also since sold, so they are worth picking up when you see them, but they need to be at the right price really, because they are quite big to package, and because they've got a glass top on them, you've got to make sure that that's well protected as well in the shipping. This was a nice radio, a realistic DX66 shortwave air radio. So it had 6 different bands on this thing. Huge aerial, must have been about 2 meters long or something. Fully worked, fully tested it, and I got £35 and a penny on an offer for this, plus £4.99 postage. This is part of the mini disc Walkman bundle I showed you earlier. One of those sold. I actually sold the charging stand separately, just for £30 free postage. Didn't even have the power pack with it, but always think about if you've got any accessories, it might be worth selling those separately rather than putting them into a bundle. Sometimes it's worth bundling things, sometimes it's not. You just really need to go on a case-by-case basis look at the part numbers, that sort of thing. I had a large number of reel-to-reel audio tapes. These continue to sell, and I've still got quite a few unlisted that I'm gradually getting through. So I've been bundling them. This is a bundle of 10 of them. They had various old recordings from the 1970s. This was a good brand as well, a BASF brand, which is quite a high quality brand. It sold for £39.95 plus postage. On those reel-to-reels, it's always worth putting, and what I usually do is they're sold as blanks. Anything on there sort of is a bonus. It's not guaranteed what's going to be on the tape, or written on the tape is what actually is on the tape. But it's always worth taking a photo of what it says is on the tape, because some people like to get those old recordings and see what's on there and that sort of thing. So. But it's always best to say these are sold as blanks, and that covers you, or it should at least cover you, for any sort of complaint about, oh, this hasn't got 2 hours of a certain festival from the 1970s on it, and you said it did have. So yeah, that's worth putting in your description. Moving on to this one. This is a white fridge. This is ideal for a man cave or something like that. This came from the jumble sale as well, I believe. I got $19.95 plus postage for it. All I had to do was add a power supply with it, because that didn't come with it from the auction. But nice item, fully tested, really nice. This is a nice Technics vintage stereo made in Japan. This is a cassette deck. Really nice one, really high quality. The typical sort of stainless steel, metal casing there. $49.95 plus $6.99 postage, which I believe was from an offer. So yeah. Nice sale there. This is another good sale for one of these. This is a Panasonic VCR player. Actually had the remote I could put with this, because it didn't come with a remote when I got it, but I do have various spare remotes. I bundle a few. One of these. Sometimes if a VCR player is a nice bundle, i.e. I've got a remote with it, I've got all the cables, I will put a blank tape with it as well, or usually a brand new sealed one. Sometimes they're open, sometimes they're even used, but it just adds that nice little bundle sort of effect to the item, I find. And I also take a picture of the unit working as well. Again, like the console I showed you earlier, it's always best to put that the TV shown in the photo is not included, just to cover yourself there if you decide to show a picture on the images. This is a nice vintage Boots Super 8 projector. I couldn't actually test this. I think it's because it didn't come with a power cable, so there was no way of me testing it, but it was in really nice condition. It came with a reel, and I took an offer of $44.95, which was £5 off the price I wanted, plus $5.99 postage. But because it was untested, I had to put selling as untested, presume it's faulty. If it works, it is a bonus. I always put that in my description, just to make it very clear that I do not know if this works, and it could be faulty. But if it does work, you've grabbed a bargain. And this was in really nice condition, as you can see in the photos. It has all the polystyrene inner packaging with it. The actual unit itself is really nice condition. It's a shame I couldn't have tested it, because I think it would have been worth sort of £80-ish. but I was happy to get the £44.95 for it. These are worth looking out for. This was a rotating audio cassette carousel. This is like a pink purpley colour. I think it held, can't remember how many cassettes, 40 cassettes it holds. Nice vintage retro item, quite delicate though, so it required quite a lot of packaging to get this posted, but I got £19.95 plus postage for it. This is something I picked up at the Jumble sale, which I think was in one of my videos. This is the He-Man Masters of the Universe Castle Grayskull. It was missing various bits of the castle, so I put that in the description, and I took all the photos of various angles and what is included, and just said you get exactly what is in the photos. But I got £49.95 plus £6.99 postage, which was excellent. This is something I picked up at a car boot sale. This is a vintage PC tower. It took me a little while to test this. I think I had to reconnect some of the cables inside, but it powered on, and it booted up to DOS. I think. I don't think Windows boot. It didn't boot into Windows for whatever reason. So it was sold as that. I put a little bit of the specs in there. Ideal as a vintage retro gaming PC or a DOS for DOS games. No wires or anything came with it. It was just as it was. Some of these you can split down and make a little bit more money. You could take the graphics cards out. You can take the memory out, the motherboard. But for £70, I was fairly happy with that just to go, because I'd had it for a while sitting there, and it was taking up a lot of space, so it was nice to see that go. Yeah, I got £69.95 plus £7 postage, and I think it went on the GSP shipping program to Spain. This is a Leapfrog TV console. I sold quite a few of these. I think I've had 3 of them in the last few months. This one sold for £24.95 plus postage, and I actually got a message from the buyer a few weeks ago saying that they've come to actually test it, I assume prior to a Christmas present, and they're saying that the parental lock was on it, so they couldn't get into various features of the console. Obviously I gave it a quick test when I got it, but I think to do various things on it and to create new characters or delete characters or something, you needed this code, basically a 4-pin code. But I looked online and I managed to find a post from someone saying that how to reset it, basically. So I sent them those instructions. I've not heard back since, so I assume that worked. So I was pleased with that, because I was worried that might come back, but no, it was all good. These are things I look out for quite regularly. These are stainless steel bread loaf makers. These can sell quite quickly, or they can be quite long tailed depending on the model and the type of programs and that sort of thing on the bread makers, the size of the machine. But this one went for £24.95 plus postage. This is a nice item. I pick these up when I see them. I think I got this one at a car boot sale. This is a Babyliss portable salon style hood dryer, so you put it over your head and it dries your hair. Nice item in the box with the manual, and it was in excellent condition, so this probably ended up as a gift, and I got £49.95 plus postage. This was a lovely antique typewriter I sold, and I got £129.95 for it. I actually sold this previously and they ended up cancelling. That's why I've got it comes up as 2 sold. But I did only sell 1. Very heavy to post. I think it actually ended up costing more than the $6.99 postage I quoted there, but there was enough money in this item to eat a little bit extra for the postage. I think it probably cost $8.99 in the end. But yeah, really nice item in the case. Yeah, really pleased with that sale. And I picked that up at a car boot sale, I believe. Another typewriter, this time an electric one, in a carrying case with the user manual. And this one went for £30.95 plus £8.99 postage. It was pretty heavy, so took quite a lot to package up because this was in a plastic case as well. As you can see here, this is how I generally test these. I type what the item is, and the model number, and I just put tested at the end, then take a photo of it, and that shows you know that it works and it's the actual item you took a photo of as well. What you can also do, and I've seen other sellers of these do, is type your eBay username in as the thing you're typing in. You can do various things, but I'm happy with this, and it's yeah, it's sold. This is another head bag. I sold another one fairly recently. I got a little bit more for that one. This one sold for £45.95 plus the postage. Lots of keywords in here: duffel bag, hold all, gym bag, sports bag. But really nice vintage head bag here. Took some photos of various angles, the inside and that sort of thing. This I got from an auction. This is a joystick, a QuickShot 2 joystick, compatible with Amstrad, Commodore, Atari, Spectrum. Unfortunately, this I ended up having to refund on this one because it arrived completely smashed up. So quite disappointed about that because it was a nice vintage item. So yeah, but I got $19.95 for it plus postage, and I was able to claim on my insurance on this, so it wasn't all that bad. But it's a shame that a vintage item got smashed in the post. Of course, it was all packaged up well, but sometimes you just can't help how the couriers treat the items, unfortunately. Of course, who knows, it could have been a scam. He sent me a photo of what looked like that joystick basically smashed into pieces. Can't really argue with it, really. So yeah, so it's a shame. This was an item I got from an auction. I think it was in one of my previous videos, an auction haul video. I got £39.95 for this plus postage. It's a Guitar Hero, Wii Guitar Hero drum kit. It didn't come with any sticks, but I've actually got lots of drumsticks that are perfectly matching for these Guitar Hero drum kits. So I put those with it, and I achieved a really good price on that. This is something that I thought originally was an American version of Dad's Army, but then I noticed it was based on Granada's comedy show, which actually predated Dad's Army and was on ITV rather than the BBC. But it still actually is still worth quite a lot, the jigsaw. I couldn't find this exact picture, the jigsaw picture, but there was various other ones on there, so I priced it fairly high, and I got £24.95 plus postage for it, and the buyer left positive feedback saying he was really pleased with it. And finally, this is a job lot of Scottish tapes, various traditional Scottish bands and artists here. I've got various lots like this where as you saw, I'd buy those cassette racks, and more often than not they're full of tapes as well, so any tapes I get from those sort of things are just extra on the top of the price really. And this is a nice little bundle I got £12.95 plus postage for, but whether these sort of tapes sell, they're a bit hit and miss really. I don't like listing them really. I just don't find any enjoyment in it, and they generally take a long time to sell, but worth putting on, you know, what else are you going to do with them. So yeah, I was happy to sell this for £12.95 plus postage. Maybe I've got some more for it, maybe it would have sold quicker if I took less for it, but yeah, happy enough with it anyway. So that's it. That is my sales update based on the November sales on my eBay store. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you saw some items there that next time you're outsourcing you think, yeah, these are worth picking up. And I'll also take this opportunity, because I won't be doing another video until the new year now, to wish everybody a good new year. Have a prosperous 2020. Hope all those sales come in for you. So yeah, thank you for all your support over the last year. I've seen my channel grow quite steadily throughout the year, which I'm really pleased about. Hopefully soon hitting that magic 1,000 subscriber mark, which I'll be able to maybe even go live on my mobile phone out on location, which will be good. I do hope to do some lives in the new year, maybe even do the sales updates live. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for videos coming from me. And again, thank you for all your support, and yeah, have a happy new year.